because I'm only validating and looking at things from my perspective, where you can move the conversation forward because you're looking at it from two different perspectives.
Yep.
And I think that's what causes a lot of stalemates in conversations, is because both people are not open-minded. Both people have to be open-minded in the conversation in order for the conversation to move to the next level. You can't come to a solution if one person is
Inflexible.
inflexible. If one person is just looking at it from their way and they can't look at it from a different point of view, and that's if you are working together as a team. This is not talking about someone who just have a position of authority over you or something like that, and they're just asking for your opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why, like, um earlier when I was talking about, is it a disagreement that's rooted in a self-serving reason? Is it a compromise that's rooted in a self-serving reason? Are you doing this just because it's a job? You know what I'm saying? Is it a chore? Is it something you're personally connected to? You could tell a difference. You could just tell when somebody's doing something from a passive aggressive way. you know, and you're gonna be able to tell if they are happy with the compromises that they made. They might do it, but and they may not do it willingly, but they'll do it. You know, and even that has its limitations when it's disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know who you asking to compromise to, because how many times has somebody asked you, or what I'm saying, I told you to do something, you presented the reasons why there's a better course of action, but for whatever self-serving reason, or whatever reason was the decision was made for you to proceed like you were being told, you were like, okay, and that just left it at that. And then at that point, that means you weren't doing nothing but checking your email. If they don't send it to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not doing it, you turn off all the implied, you stay within the boundaries. That might get you, you know what I'm saying, whatever result you're looking for, but it's not sustainable in a team effort. Sometimes you're gonna have to do a little bit more.
I'm this question again. Can I hit it again from a different perspective?
Go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, should a man compromise who he is for anyone or anything? So, I'm gonna go with the yes. And here's my positive spin on this. Um, Someone getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, a 300-pound person getting up at 300. I mean, a 300-pound person waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, compromising sleep for something better, for better health, for longevity, for all these different things. So sometimes, we talk about compromise, and sometimes compromise could be a good thing. It's not always negative. Like, you compromising something for something else. And I think that's what, we talked about that earlier. And I think you said mentioned it early on here too. It's compromising who you are, because once you lose 300 pounds and you get down to 160 or 170 and you're solid, and different things like that, you're a different person.
Yeah.
Your values and different things are the same, but you see life from a different point of view. When you walk around, people don't see you as a 300-pound, 5'6" guy. They see you as a 160-pound buff guy now. So even the lens that people look at you is different now. When people look at you, they think differently than, when, I'm just being stereotypical here, but when
Yeah.
people see you eating donuts at 300 pounds, it's different than eating donuts at 160. When people see people eating donuts at 300 pounds, they're like, man, why he eating that? When people see me at work, they're like, I'm surprised you eat donuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes when so I think it is okay to compromise certain things of our life, especially if they're negative, and get them out of our life. And that's, I think, that's what we talked about as far as the evolving process and moving forward, is compromising, certain things like sleep, maybe some of your money to learn a course or a trade or a skill or something like that, in order to not necessarily become a new person, but kind of evolve into a better version of yourself, you know. And I think that that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think the phrase "iron sharpens iron"
Hmm.
is valuable in understanding and like kind of synchronizing all of that. That what you said. A man has to test himself. He has to be capable of assuming greater responsibility. Because at any given time, a responsible man is going to be in a situation where he's going to get more responsibility on his plate, like both intentional and unintentional. And he has to have a degree of creativity, that gives him the negotiating skills that it takes to compromise in healthy ways, to be able to articulate why you need to go a little bit harder on some things and why you need to step back from others. So the 300-pound guy analogy, what I'm saying, is very useful because um, if no matter what word you choose, that person still has to sacrifice something because it's easy to lay down.
Easy. Yep.
It's easy to stay there. You know what I'm saying? And it's not hard to let that go. So you choosing, what I'm saying, to stay in a space where you don't benefit from it other than just comfort. You know, and I think if you find yourself in a space where comfort is always around, then you're not gonna have, the situational awareness to realize, hey, I've been too comfortable. I got to break out of, what I'm saying, my routine. A lot of people don't have that extra, level of objectivity to say I could be doing better. And then when they don't have it, they don't know where to start. And when you don't know where to start, you're asking for somebody to come lead you. You know what I'm saying? And you either gonna get managed or mentored. Because somebody in a position of great advantage knows what to do with you, even if you don't know what to do with yourself.
Yep. I don't
So
doubt that.
yeah, like so some people, like compromising. What reasons are you compromising for?
Yeah.
And are you compromising your own opportunities? Because how many times can you compromise your opportunities
Yeah.
by compromising the wrong thing? You know what I'm saying? So it's if it's true on this end, it's true on another.
Yeah. We compromise time with the boys, compromise time with the family, compromise this and compromise that, compromise, maybe a weekend to go to a retreat to learn about, being a better man. You know what I mean? Compromise, time with your wifey this weekend, but it pays off down the road. So, like you said, what are you compromising for? There have to be something of value that you gain from the compromise.
Yeah, because at that point you are you're not allowing yourself, to flourish because a lot of people, their lives would change significantly if they just left where they are.
Hmm.
Just went to a different location, do the same process that they got going on right now in a better environment.
So you can move 2 hours away and change your whole life.
Change your whole life.
Yep.
Compromise.
Like right now, like where you at? You just move straight to Austin, totally different atmosphere.
Completely different atmosphere.
You keep
You know?
going a little bit further and go to San Antonio, totally different.
Yep. Change zip
You
codes a
know?
couple times, man.
Yep.
You get different outcomes
Yeah.
because you connect with people based on where they are in life, um, and the closer you get to your outcomes, the harder you're working on them, the more relevant people you're gonna meet that's on your frequency. And if you're doing the things that it takes to get there, you don't have to compromise anything. Let's just say if you just if you did it all for a healthy reason, and you did like for instance what we've been doing with the Uncle Junior Network. Hey man, tune in to the Uncle Junior Network on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for elevated dialogue, where you will see the Uncle Junior and myself, and along with the other Wolfpack members, as we discuss whatever pressing topics that are relevant to young men and men in general being better. That's just it. So, um,
Yep, facts on that.
yeah,
And we
that's just
learn stuff ourselves too,
man. Sometimes like we have to sit over there, and sometimes we're in the audience.
bro.
Sometimes we're the audience. I mean, I enjoy it. I like when I can just ask questions sometimes.
Yeah,
Um, and
I lose track of the show sometimes. I did tonight like twice because I
man,
was so tuned in to like the conversation and stuff. So
that
yeah.
yeah, that's like that's a great thing though. When you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be the lead on every single thing. You can just,
Yeah.
what
Be
I'm
in the
saying,
moment.
be in the moment, let the content, what I'm saying, develop itself.
Mm-hmm.
And again, hey, decentralized leadership,
Mm-hmm.
accountable masculinity rule number 3, you know, because if you are on the same wavelength, the people that want to see you win, they're going to give adequate participation. They're going to give, um, you know, the energy that it requires to see the team goal get met. Because the goal is to win the championship. Let's see what we got right here. Nothing wrong with a man compromising, depending on what it is.
Yeah, depending on what
Absolute.
it is. It has to be something of value that's
Yeah,
worth compromising for.
yeah, something of
Not
value.
compromising for nothing.
Yeah, it has to be something of value.
Mm-hmm.
That is the key. I think that sacrificing something of value determines the level of compromise.
Mm-hmm.
Because we agree that compromise happens at all times. But I'm always trying to make sure I draw the distinction between compromise and sacrifice, because a lot of people use these words interchangeably and they're not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a degree of risk, one for a moral reason and another one for a safety reason.
Or
And I think,
loss.
yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think stand to lose something.
yeah,
Compromising too. Like just I said with sleep, just getting up early. Like you lose sleep. You know what I mean? Just to get up earlier to, get up and go run, sacrifice that time. You may sacrifice that extra hour, hour and a half, laying in the bed, snuggling with your wifey or something. You know what I mean? It's a little sacrifice, it's a little compromise that, you're willing to do in order to, you know, eventually, maybe, just be at better health overall to where you can live a little bit longer for your spouse. So
yeah,
men compromise all the time. Shit.
man. Look, I say, man, like, I feel like most of my life, when I look at it at this stage, man, we done dealt with a lot of disrespect.
Mhm. Yeah.
A lot of disrespect. Like, disrespect is the language.
You know how many times we done compromised I don't want to say our manhood, but now when you want to just like choke somebody, but you can't.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like to the heart, like
Yes.
I'm to the heart, I'm the dude that'll choke you.
Yeah.
But I'm compromising who I am because I don't want to go to jail.